Hi, good morning, everyone. It's Sunday, October 5th, and I have literally 1 hour before I have to go to the rehab hospital where my mom has been now for almost 2 weeks. Um, and pick her up, bring her home. Today is her 92nd birthday. So I'm moving in with her right now for a little more than a week, and then I have a conference to go to, and I think I have things arranged. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. Oh, and I've got texts coming in. Okay, that's going to have to wait. So I have 1 hour to shoot 2 videos for you. I'm going to separate these videos so that you don't feel you have to watch them all at once. One is going to be on supplements. The other is going to give you some ideas of some foods that I have collected, or not collected, but have already bought. Um, Almost all the other foods that I don't have with me to show you right now are just foods that I have anyway. I will make a trip into the kitchen, and as you can see, I'm in a room that is not completed yet. This is our sunroom. We don't have the ceiling up yet. There's still a lot going on. Okay, let's get right down to it and let's do supplements first. Now, what I would like to say is my wish and my goal and my thought was that I wanted to put each of you in, have each of you in something called full scripts. That's still my goal. I'm going to have to enlist someone else to help me do that because with everything going on, I have not been able to do it. I wanted to put each of you into full scripts, and that would just automatically align you with a lot of these supplements. There's also some designs for health supplements, but which you have access to on Women's Midlife Specialist website. And I am going to put uh, Yvonne and Peggy in charge of answering questions regarding the Designs for Health website, getting supplements from there with a discount. The discount is also with Full Scripts. And what I like about Full Scripts is I get all my supplements from either Full Script, not all of them, but I'd say 90 to 95% of my supplements come from Full Scripts or Full Scripts and Designs for Health. They carry a lot of Designs for Health stuff. So sometimes I'm too lazy to go on the Designs for Health site and order them there. I just am on Full Scripts and I just do everything there. So the next thing I want to say is I don't want you to freak out about what I'm showing you. Okay. Please don't freak out about what I'm about to show you that I have been setting myself up for, because it's going to seem like a lot to you, and I don't want that to happen. Each of you are individuals, and I will be able to certainly tell you the very basics, none at all, the very basics, and just very briefly, why I am doing such an extensive gut cleanse is I have noticed I've had something called bronchiectasis for the past 10 years. I've noticed it getting worse over the last year. I had another CT scan and it had spread throughout the lungs and had a lot of airways that were trapped with mucus. And so I was really losing a lot of oxygenation, and that is very bad. So I had a bronchoscopy on Friday. I'm just getting over it. That was a tougher procedure than I had anticipated, and I've been pretty much out of it for the last 2 days. Unfortunately, they found something that they weren't really looking for, and that is that I'm bleeding into the lungs, and that's called vasculitis. And why that is happening is yet to be found. I have had a suspicion that I have mold, a chronic mold infection in my lungs, and that this is what actually is the cause. And yes, could mold or some other bacteria that is chronic or been in there, it's active infection. Could that cause capillary pulmonitis, which is what this is called? Yes, it could. But the most common cause is actually autoimmune disease. I do not think that is the case. I don't think that's it. But either way, you have to clean your gut and you have to keep a clean gut and you have to build your immune system. So, what, let me speak a little louder. That might have not. You have to clean your gut. 70% of our gut is active in our immune function. So you have to clean your gut, keep your gut clean, and you have to strengthen the immune system in the rest of the body. So what you're going to see with me is a lot of stuff. I had already anticipated that I could have a problem. Never, ever would I ever have thought they would have found that I was bleeding in my lungs. I would have never thought that. But so that was a bit of a shock and disappointment. But you're going to see me along the way, and also stress. Stress can't cause this, but stress certainly doesn't make it any better. And when you're a very strong individual and you're used to dealing with a lot of different things, you don't realize, you honestly sometimes don't realize how much stress you're under. You're kind of used to taking it on. And so you can neglect things. All right. I start my morning with a shake. Now, fiber is critical. I want you all to think about fiber. When you look at foods that have fiber in them, of course, we're talking about beans and greens are going to be a big part of our cleanse. Greens and vegetables. These are what cleanse the body from toxins. They give us the nutrients that we need, as well as the fiber, and cleanse the gut. Now, fiber binds to toxins. We need that. If you have a fungus or you suspect you have been exposed to fungi or a bacteria, you have to bind. That's the only way that you can treat any kind of chronic infection, and that is binding these toxins so that they can be released from the gut, the bowel. So the very first step, hopefully you guys have watched the video, that is the overview. And that is very important because that you have to have a 30,000 foot view before you jump into the forest, right? You don't want to be in the middle of the forest. You want that 30,000 foot view first, looking at everything. Then you want to jump into the forest. So this week, we're still looking at the 30,000 foot view, and you're going to be looking at your diet and be collecting whatever you personally want to use in your personal cleanse. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. All right. So I start with a shake in the morning. I should have brought those bags of, I prepared them last night. I'm actually starting today. I'm not starting the cleanse today. I'm going to start with you on the 13th. The cleanse starts with 2 fast days. The fast days are very important because when you don't eat, you release toxins. Most toxins are stored in fat. Fat is broken down when you are not eating and your calories are low. And we're going to get the toxin release started by cleansing the liver. The liver is going to produce the necessary bile to bind with fat. And if you don't have a gallbladder, that's okay. You still produce bile. It's just produced a little by little. It doesn't store. I need to ask David, excuse me, I'm sorry, because he will bring it to me. Could you please bring one of my Ziploc bags of greens to me that I cleaned last night? Period. I meant to bring that for the video. Thank you. Don't worry about being on camera. He's done so many things with me, help me. Okay, hopefully I know he'll get that. So what I do is I mix the greens. I make 6 of them a week. So I skip one day, and why? I don't know, just to give myself a break. There's no rocket science in this. Okay, I get do 6 of them. That gives me a tremendous amount of protein and a tremendous amount of greens. I start the day with that. I use this here, Thorn Mediclear, vanilla flavored. Someone wrote that it is available in chocolate flavors. It is not. It doesn't have the whole cleanse. Okay, this is specific for all the nutrients that you'll need. If you have this and only this by itself, you don't need some of the other things unless you have a serious thing going on like I do. If you do, you may want to follow what I'm doing. But this will carry you through. I want you to carefully look at what this is, because this is the only Thorn Mediclear on there. It's the best one on the market. The best one. It'll carry you for your whole cleanse. If you cannot find that, then I highly recommend Orgain Organic Protein. Thank you, my love. And I'm going to hand it right back to you, honey. Put it back in the refrigerator. I make these. These are 6 packs. And so I've got a half of a tomato, a half of a kiwi, about 6 carrots. Everything's organic. A handful of mustard greens, a handful of kale, a handful of spinach. I think that's all that's in there. Thank you, sweetheart. Now, the mustard greens, I know they're bitter. Don't put your nose up to it. They are bitter, but they are highly cleansing. Now, I don't do the same thing every week. I don't. I go to Sprouts. It's my favorite. You might have your own favorite place that you can get your organic veggies at. Um, I don't get the same thing. I always get kale, try to, and always get spinach, try to. I don't necessarily get mustard greens. It depends on what they have, okay? But I'm going to get 3 big bunches of greens, and then I'm going to throw tomatoes, carrots, sometimes cucumbers. I actually probably will throw some cucumbers in there, but they don't last for 6 days. These packets have to last for 6 days. This is the way I do it. You may want to do it a different way. You may want to clean them every day. I do not like cleaning veggies every day. I do use Clean Boss, okay? I rinse them, then I use Clean Boss. I let them sit for 2 minutes. That's the instructions. Then I clean them all uh, with this for 2 minutes. I let it sit, and then I mix them up in my colander, and then I rinse them very well. It's a big job. It took me an hour, hour and a half last night, but I only have to do it once a week. There's precious Inca. So what do I add in with this? I put all my greens. I do use a Vitamix, but any really strong um, blender will work. Now, I also use a scoop of this. Whether I had this big problem or not, this is a healant of leaky gut, L-glutamine. Really important. It's a major healer of leaky gut. If your gut is inflamed in any which way, this is very important. I highly recommend it. Okay. You do not, if you eat like I eat with those drinks, you probably do not need this. This used to be called something else, Designs for Health changed it, Fiber Prebiotic Complete, but it's wonderful. I'm going to put a scoop of that in there only because I have it. I buy it for my dog. Okay, I'm going to also put a scoop of my bone health collagen peptides in there. You do not need it. It's not for the cleanse, but it's because I'm getting enough protein in my protein powder and my other things that I eat during the day. But I have it. I'm going to mix it in my drink. Now, I also, depending, now when you're trying to cleanse and you're using something like, and you have an infection, okay, and I think that I do, you got to bind it with something. So I'm going to be using charcoal plus binder, okay? Any kind of charcoal or binder is going to make you constipated. With all of these vegetables and fiber, that's not likely. But I'm thinking ahead, and I'm not going to allow that to happen. And it's not likely to happen with all these vegetables, but I will either put magnesium citrate powder in my smoothie. I may not. I may use instead my magnesium citrate uh, gummy at night. So I have to wait to see whether or not this charcoal plus constipates me. If it does, I'll be adding the mag citrate to my drink. Okay. You cannot get constipated. You have got to make sure that you are moving your bowels and you are moving them well every day, and that your bowels are, when you have a movement, you don't see the plop plop little deer poop, okay? You've got to have a nice big stool that makes you feel like you've fully evacuated. If you have not, you need to start adding something to make sure you do, because you are going to be releasing toxins, okay, with all of these greens and all of these good foods and getting rid of. So you've got to get rid of the bad, do more of the good, okay? And keep that up. Get rid of the bad, do more of the good, and keep that up. And as that happens, you're going to be releasing more and more toxins. As you release toxins, you have to bind those toxins with something that is a binder. That is why I do recommend this. If you eat really, really well, like I'm showing you, you'll probably be okay without this. I'm getting it in the detoxification support packets. Normally, what we have done is we've just had people buy them separately, but this is going to make it easier for me. It's good for 1 month. You take one packet for each twice a day, and I just don't have time to be messing with my bottles. So they come in little packets like this, and there's 5 pills in a packet. So if you decide to do this, this is going to help cleanse the liver, make the liver healthier. So if you're overweight, you probably have a fatty liver. Sorry, but you probably do. If you drink alcohol, you've got some support of your liver that you need to do. So I really like this suggestion. There are 3 different supplements in this one box. Detox, it's called Detox Antiox, a liver gallbladder complex, and amino detox. So what they do is they support phase 1 and phase 2 of detoxification by healing the liver, getting the liver stronger, releasing more bile, which you need in order to bind all that fat that is collecting toxins, okay? And you want to get rid of that fat. That's why people lose weight in this program. If you don't lose weight, you're not binding the fat and getting rid of the fat, okay? So however, there's many other things in these packets that not only help you strengthen your liver, which is phase 1 detox, but help you bind those toxins and get them out, which is phase 2. So detoxification support packets is the route that I'm going. That's my morning shake. That's my morning routine, and the detoxification packets are twice a day, morning and dinner. Before I go to bed, I have started this. I've been on this now for a week. This is Therapy RP. I've been on and off this over the last year, that I've thought that my lungs were getting worse, but I have not been consistent. Now I'm going to be consistent. I had no idea what was going on. This increases immunoglobulins, which is a form of immune cell. I need more immune cells. If you have any kind of infection, if you have any kind of autoimmune disease, if you have chronic fatigue, if you have chronic pain, any of those, I would highly recommend this. I do get it off of Full Scripts. A few other things. Okay. Do I need the twice daily? No, I don't. Not with all this other stuff. I have it only because this is what I take normally, but I do not need this. But I'm putting it out there to you because depending on what you do, you might need it. It's just a plain old multivitamin, but a very good one. I have 3 different types of probiotics. I actually have 4. Doggone it. The fourth one is in the refrigerator because it has to be kept refrigerated, and my oil is in the refrigerator. So I will show you that in another video. I'm not going to disturb him. Okay, so Floromyces is a probiotic that is very good for multiple different bad bacteria in the gut, as well as molds. So I am taking that every day, one a day, Floromyces. I'm also going to start with probiotic 100, and then I'm going to move into probiotic 50. Okay, that's 50 billion. The other one's 100 billion. I'm going to be high at first, and I'm going to go to my more normal level after that. I have not been on this for several years. I've been off and on, off and on. Not smart. Okay. I also take a vitamin D. Very, very important. We want to keep our levels up somewhere around 60 to 80. I prefer 80. Now, this here does have ox bile, so that does help break down fat. But if you have problems with breaking down other things like carbohydrates, then and some people do, especially, if you feel that vegetables don't do well with you or beans don't do well with you, you may want something like this. There's a reason why you think those foods don't do well with you. Okay, those are God's gifts to us, these foods. They're God's gifts to us. And if you can't eat anything but white bread and in mush, because otherwise it goes right through you, I've heard that so many times, you're not producing digestive enzymes. So I highly recommend you do that. Me, I produce plenty. I know I do because I respond very well to those. If you do not poop and have a great poop every day, then you got to go for the big guns, get some per diem and some extra strength Colace. This is extra strength, 250 milligrams. This is per diem. It's got about 17 milligrams of cyanosides. You may need one, you may need two, I don't know, but you got to poop every day and you got to poop good. You got to feel like that poop feels like an orgasm. It feels so good. Not kidding. Now, I also take melatonin. I get cheap melatonin. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Seems to work well. One is quick release, one is sustained release. So I take one of each. Those are both 5 milligrams a piece. So I have two different oils in the refrigerator. I will show you those at another time. And I have it's 9:23, so we did great. I have two different oils, and I have a few foods in the refrigerator that I did show when we did this call, the bonus call, but not everybody was on there. So I will take pictures of it because it's not going to get on the food thing. It's of the it's our oh, I wanted to also show you this. This is what I mix it in. It's not organic, but I buy this in big boxes. You can buy this online, and I love it because you don't have to refrigerate it. And I just put one in the refrigerator at a time. And I usually get about a cup of this in with my drink, maybe 2 cups. But just because the fiber in the fiber drink, I make them pretty mushy, but I'll put some ice in it and I'll run that thing for a long time, really grind it up good. Okay. Oh, I forgot to show you something else. Very, very important. I'm looking behind my computer. I take these. Uh, I probably am going to order some more. This is my first packet. They are a surefire way for me to make sure I get mushrooms. So mushrooms, there's a lot of different mushrooms for specific things. I found this one to be quite varied for the things that we need, which is cleansing and brain function. So cleansing and brain function, and it's SunMed all in one. They are good, and I take it, they have 10 different mushrooms in them. They are organic, and I take two of these. Now, I don't have to take two of them every day. I don't remember how much they were. I thought they were a little bit expensive. And the reason I don't have to every day is because I have these two things that I really love that I did find on Full Script. And this is a mushroom blend hot chocolate, which is pretty good. And this is a mushroom blend coffee. I am going to give up coffee. So this does have true coffee in it. So I'll probably hold off on this and drink a cup of this every day. It's not much. 30 calories for this. And it's good. You have to stir it though. So you drink, sip a little, and you stir it, sip a little, and then stir it. So that gives me a lot of mushrooms. And this is not as expensive. So, and it's kind of nice to sit and relax with a cup of hot chocolate, especially right now, right? So these are on Full Script, and I love them. Let me talk with Yvonne and Peggy. Peggy might be able to help me get the names in Full Script, and then I have to go in and pick all these foods out or supplements out. And then if I do that for you, what happens is they send you an email and says, oh, Dr. Karen has all these supplements that you can, and then all you have to do is pull up your email and pick which ones you want instead of spending hours online looking for them, because that's what I do. All right, I'm going to close. And I hope this was helpful for you. You can see that it's very, very much circled around cleansing the gut. It is not a tremendous amount of supplements if you keep it controlled. I have a few more than I think you personally need. It's 9:27, so that's perfect timing. I'm going to do less than 30 minutes on the food, and that's coming up next. Mwah. You have a wonderful day. I will be online on Monday, probably somewhere around 6 o'clock, when I think most people who are not working, I mean, working, will be home by then. I'll be online. I'm hoping I am going to be living with my mom, uh, and we'll see how that goes for the week. Okay. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.